Hey everyone, Ben Eunson here. One of the questions that I'm asked most frequently is, do you practice scales? And the answer is certainly yes. But it's really important to remember why we're practicing scales in the first place, and that is so that we can use scales to assist us in expressing our own musical ideas. As a result, I've learned that it's really important to know a variety of different approaches to playing scales on the guitar neck. And rather than focusing on the negative side of how you might be playing scales wrong, let's instead focus on the positive side of how you can start playing scales right. We'll be looking at 5 approaches to playing scales on the guitar neck that I've found to be really useful. I discuss all of this and a whole lot more in my guitar masterclasses, How to Practice Volume 1, Scales, Modes and What to Do with Them, and also How to Practice Volume 3, Developing a Linear Language, both of which are available as part of my newly updated How to Practice bundle at bensguitarclub.com, which now features an easily accessible online layout with over 120 video selections, detailed technical explanations, and finally, tab and notation of everything you'll hear me playing. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe down below and click the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my new videos. And also consider supporting my channel by becoming a member. All of our scale examples today will be utilizing the C major scale, which sounds something like this. But you can certainly apply these approaches to different scales and scales in other keys as well. One of the biggest challenges that guitarists face is simply knowing all the notes on the fretboard. So a great way to overcome this is by playing scales up and down single strings, and utilizing the C major scale is a great place to start. The major third degree of the C major scale is an E natural, so we can start playing scales up and down single strings on the high E string. We'll start by following the C major scale up the neck from the note E, so it'll sound a little bit like this. So let's play the C major scale up and down a 1-octave range over all 6 strings. You might have heard the term position playing. When it comes to scales, position playing typically refers to 5 positions that can be played beneath the 12th fret. This is also sometimes referred to as the CAGED system, CAGED referring to the open chord voicings for C, A, G, E, and D, which sound a little bit like this. The CAGED system is based on the idea that these 5 open chord shapes can be moved around the neck to present us with a total of 5 possible positions. So let's utilize our CAGED positions to play the C major scale in 5 positions below the 12th fret. Breaking a scale up into intervals is an essential part of scale knowledge and practice for any guitarist who's trying to develop their knowledge of scales and their language on the instrument. A major scale played in second intervals is simply a major scale being played in an ascending or descending fashion, just like you've heard me play in the previous two exercises. But beyond seconds, some of the additional intervals we can utilize to break up the C major scale are thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, and sevenths. Let's check them out in action. Sticking with the C major scale, we're now going to look at a slightly unusual fingering pattern that's going to get your mind thinking a little differently and your hands moving also a little differently on the guitar neck. We're going to take the C major scale but play it as 2 notes per string. This is something that I like to call the backwards ascending scale. The pitch of the scale will still be ascending, but it'll look as though I'm moving backwards down the guitar neck. Finally, let's look at an incredibly important part of learning scales on the neck, and that is scale connection. In How to Practice Volume 1, we look at a variety of scales beyond just the basic major scale. One of the scales that we look at in particular depth is the melodic minor scale and the modes that can be derived from this scale. In this example, we're going to add in the altered scale, which is the 7th mode of the melodic minor scale. We'll be taking the G altered scale, which sounds a bit like this, and playing it over a G7 sharp 5 chord. We'll then be connecting the G altered scale up with a C major scale, and the C major scale will be occurring over a C major 7 chord. I expand upon this greatly in Section 3 of How to Practice Volume 1, but our most basic example of these two scales being connected would sound a bit like this. And that's it. I hope that you've found these 5 approaches to playing scales to be really useful, and I hope you find these approaches to be practical in the context of your own playing. If you'd like to go deeper into learning my approach to scales, arpeggios, and also developing soloing language on the guitar neck, make sure to check out my newly updated How to Practice bundle, only available at bensguitarclub.com. The How to Practice bundle features a new online layout with over 120 video selections, detailed technical explanations of everything, and also tab and notation of all that you'll hear me playing. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe down below and click the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my new videos, and consider becoming a member to support my channel. Remember to be creative with all this material, and most importantly, have fun with it. I'll see you next time.